Whodey, Bengal fans. He is Mon. I am Jake. That is Eric. This is the Bengals Pulse, the heartbeat of our Cincinnati Bengals. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight as we get ready for the showdown between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Washington Commanders in Cincinnati. Should be a great game. We got a lot to talk about. Before we do, though, Mon, how's your week been, buddy?
Good. I just switched microphones. How do I sound?
Like an angel.
Sound as good as you look, Mon. Advanced genetics, advanced microphone.
Well, that's pretty darn good. Then.
Yeah.
I'm doing good. Excited about all this Bengal news that we're getting this week. Heavy practice expected tomorrow. Practice today. Excited about the Commander game. I love talking Bengals, and let's do it.
Awesome. Before we do, Eric, you good, buddy? How's everything going on up your way?
It's back to school week. Kids got back to school, trying to get them back on the schedules, fighting all that, buying $8 million worth of school supplies. My son was supposed to have golf tryouts this week, but it got delayed by a week because the coach is out of town. So just doing a lot of juggling, dealing with all the stuff that comes with the beginning of the year. It's fun, but it's exhausting. Speaking of exhausting, I know you guys talked about it on Thursday, but I wasn't here. Shout out to the grandma. Shout out to Luke and Amanda, brand new baby. I can't wait to see pictures of the grandma holding the baby in his Bengals onesie. Pretty awesome, pretty exciting.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's been a very it's been a fun week. Blessed, and Luke, Amanda, and the baby are all doing well. And thank you very, very much for that. I appreciate it. And it's great to add another Bengal fan to the family.
Yeah. Well, and not to pile it on, but honestly, one of the most down-to-earth, loving families out there. Like the Abahassans, all your kids, your wife, your whole family, your brother. You guys are like family. Like the Bengals Pulse listeners know it from watching you guys, but everybody in Mon's family is just amazing. And I really appreciate being part of it. So I'm really, really excited for you guys. I can't wait. There's going to be a lot more grandbabies coming, but it's exciting for the first one.
And then you have Mon.
Mon.
Thank you, Eric. You're being very kind. You're being very. Thank you. I appreciate that,
Eric. It's almost weird. You're making.
I know, because last week he yelled at us. He's flexing. Before the show, he flexed a little bit.
Still flex.
I know he did, and then he's talking about he's had a rough week, golf tryouts. I was actually worried that we were going to get yelled at again. But no, it's the old Eric. Thank you so much. That's very kind.
No, I'm very appreciative of your family and the people that you are. There's dealt with a lot of crappy people this last week or so, and driving to Cincinnati, you see a lot of crappy people on the road. So you got to tell those people that are really, really good in your life that you appreciate them, and I appreciate everybody in your family.
I appreciate that. I'm a work in progress. Even at my age, I'm still evolving as a human. I'm not perfect. But, hey, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. You're a good dude. Jake, I got to ask you a question. I want the Bengals Pulse listeners. I know we're going to talk Bengals here. I got to go on a tour of the facilities of the Space Coast Vipers. Very impressive. Very impressive. You got a good thing going on there. You should be proud of that.
No, I'm excited. The new weight room is coming Monday. Actually, this is what my day has been today, guys. This morning, got an email. So we have our first regular season game on Friday. We were supposed to be traveling to Jacksonville to play a team up in Jacksonville. They emailed me this morning, and their field there's something unplayable about their field, and said, hey, we got to come to you guys. So now the game has been moved to Thursday night in the Snake Pit. So I'm very excited about that. But there's a lot that goes into that. It was kind of a crazy, hectic day. But we got it worked out. First game's in the Snake Pit, Thursday night football. You can't beat that to open up the season. And now I get to be on here with my two buds talking Bengals football.
Do we do a Bengals Pulse live from the Snake Pit after the game? That's our night. Jake, did you tell him that you do the Pulse on Thursday night? You can't play a football game? What the hell?
Well, listen, I know Marvin is Mom's brother. I know Marvin will be there, I'm sure. So Marvin can go live, do the Bengals Pulse.
True.
All right, let's talk a little Bengals football here, guys. Crazy week. A lot of positives looks like coming out of camp. We even had a Jordan Battle sighting today as he picked off Joe Burrow. Made a nice play on the ball. Again, I think defensively these guys are still trying to find their way, but should be interesting to see what we get out of that Washington game, right, guys? See what kind of defense we get. Maybe hopefully a little bit more motivated defense when we line up against Washington.
Yeah, I can't wait. I rewatched the game the other night. Obviously, there was the offense was stellar, and the defense was, what it was. They're still evolving, trying to figure things out. They did play a little bit better in the second half. Do have a lot of injuries, and I've listened to all the major pods. Paul Dehner, all of them, and they all bring up the concerns that we bring up, that all the fans are bringing up. Did the Bengals do enough this offseason at some of those key spots? We're going to find out. There's still time to bring in other bodies to try to shore up those spots. But, we're going to see these young guys in the secondary safety room. Jake, you've been harping on it for weeks now. Probably the weakest position on the team. Guess what? They're going to get their shot against a good offense Monday night. And, hey, we still got 3.5 weeks before the season starts. So actually we got a month. We got a month before the season. Yeah. No, it's 3.5 weeks. 3.5 weeks.
Yeah, about
we have a month until the home opener. 3.5 weeks until the season starts.
They're not going to get any superstar at safety or guard right now, but there are serviceable guys that could come in and help with depth, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Depth pieces.
Yeah. Well,
there's a lot of those guys out there that could help this team.
Let's get right into it as Jake chugs his, what I hope is water. It could be another clear liquid, but
man, I've been drinking water all day.
So
first day of school, he's in the bottle.
Yeah. Second day, you got to get it. Let's talk about depth because that's the title of tonight's show. We were screaming about it all off season long. We needed to get 2 guards so that we could draft our depth. We didn't do that. We thought we'd go grab a safety or draft a safety. We didn't do that. So now we're sitting here. And we've been through one preseason game, and those depth pieces, those depth positions are rearing their ugly head. So I wanted to kind of get that conversation going tonight. There's still big names out there. Brandon Scherf is still out there. Justin Simmons is still out there. There's still the ability to add and shore up these positions. So I wanted to talk to you guys. We talked about it a lot, about the narrative being the Bengals can't sign big name free agents, and then the Bengals won't sign big name free agents because they don't want to spend money, and then they can't do it because they don't have the money, and then they shouldn't do it because it was spending too much. So I kind of want to go the opposite route here. We've got some free agents out there, so can we go through some of those names and maybe say why they can, why they should, and then will they? We're not too far out of this. We saw the Lucas Patrick experiment seems to be, in my book, it should be over, but they haven't gone that far yet. They did move Jalen Rivers inside to guard, which we've been screaming for, and Cody Ford back out to tackle. So I want to get your guys' opinion. Is switching it up and putting Rivers at guard enough, or should we just be going out there and signing a guard that's near retirement or maybe one of those middle tier guards to shore up that starter piece and then add some depth? Jake, you want to go first?
Yeah, I think obviously we've been saying this all off season. The offensive line, to me, there's only 2 positions on this team where there is good depth. You could really say 3, although the running back position, I would say, is kind of, we got to see what we got out of the rookie. But wide receiver and tight end, to me, are the only position where there's depth. There's no depth at quarterback. After Joe Burrow, it is just not good. Offensive line.
How quick he turns on Jake Browning.
No. Jake Browning, to me, is not the answer. But I do think when we talk about the offensive line, I don't know if putting this on Jalen Rivers is the right move. Throwing another rookie in, right? Because we got Fairchild on one side. I don't think lining up week one with 2 rookies at guard is a very smart decision on the Bengals' part, especially when you have your franchise dropping back to throw the ball 35 times a game. So for me, you got to go out and you got to get a veteran guard. I mean, I'm with you. The Lucas Patrick thing is not working out. He is not NFL material. He is what Mon, would say. He's just a guy that we went out and picked up. There's enough sample size, I think, at this point to say that about Lucas Patrick. So for me, and I know you're a big Sheriff guy, and I'm not against that at all, but there's got to be another guard out there right now that the Bengals have got to be looking at to go get. I like Jalen Rivers. I think Jalen Rivers is the future, but I think lining up 2 rookie guards to start the season against the Browns defensive line, which is the only good part of their team, is a little scary. And I think it would be a stupid move for the Bengals, Mom.
Yeah, I mean, Lucas Patrick is a journeyman. He's a fringe starter. I'm not gonna. He played he played 1 quarter of football. Gave up a free runner there. Wasn't very pretty. He has started multiple games in the NFL. He is what he is. He's not a superstar, but I think he's going to come in and be, a guy that started some NFL games. Jalen Rivers, the experiment at tackle. I beg the Cincinnati Bengals, please, I beg you, keep him at guard. He's a rookie. I don't want this kid's head spinning. Let him focus at one position only. Give him reps every practice. Let him practice, reps at right guard. That's the best way. If you keep on putting him a tackle here, over here, that's what happened to Jackson Carman. Jackson Carman played every spot but center. Yeah. Let Jalen Rivers play right guard and develop into a right guard. Let that happen. If you want to get a vet, I agree. I hope they do. There are some people out there, like I said, they're not superstars. They're older, but they're going to come in and improve the depth on this team. If you're going to do it in the next week. Don't do a Lawrence Guy that didn't have any training camp last year. It took him 3 weeks to come in and play okay ball, if that. So if you're going to sign a player, a vet, get him in camp now, get his body ready, get him some reps. We want to make sure he's potentially ready for week 1. That's what I hope they do. But you know what our Bengals are going to do? They're going to put in multiple waiver claims, final roster cuts. They're going to bring in guys that were, they think highly of, that were just recently cut by other teams to come in and improve the depth. That's fine. But guess what? They're not going to know the Bengals system. They're really not going to be productive for 2, 3, 4 weeks. I would much rather them make that move now. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I wish we had a time machine. I think every Bengal fan, Jake, Eric, you both, we all wanted them to do a little bit more in free agency at safety and guard.
Yes.
Obviously, they didn't. We don't have a time machine. We can't go back and fix that. They're going to roll with what they got. And I hope that light bulb comes on and these guys start producing a little bit more.
So we didn't think, signing Noah Fant, that doesn't seem like a huge signing. But that's something the Bengals didn't typically do even in the last few years. They didn't go get a guy once camp had already started, and they kind of rolled with what they had. Do you think that's a sign that, to me, that's a positive and makes me think that grabbing another guard is not outside of the question? That doesn't give you guys any sense of hope that says, well, they grabbed Noah Fant, maybe they're still looking at guards, maybe it's a possibility?
I am so frustrated with this guard situation. I'm with Mon. I think all of us, for me especially, the safety position to me is probably the biggest fumble of the offseason. I've been saying it all along. Yes, Dolores, go Reds. They just won 6-1. But yes, that fumble of the guard position is just it's detrimental to this football team, and it's a shame because all we heard in the offseason was the Bengals were going to go make this play at guard. They were going to make this play at guard, and all this a big signing at guard, and we got Lucas Patrick. So, I don't see the Bengals going out and getting a guard. I don't see it. I hope they do. They should, but I don't see a sign at guard like the Noah Fant thing. I just don't see it, and I was surprised. I was shocked they went out and got Noah Fant, to be honest. But this depth at offensive line is not good, guys. I mean, they were throwing guys out there last week on Thursday night that didn't belong in the NFL, and they were like, running with the twos. So I don't know what their plan is, but the Bengals have got to go find a veteran guard. They've got to go find a veteran safety. I know you guys love the young guys at safety, but I'm telling you, Dejon Anthony is not it. He is not a good football player. He's just not.
Can't say that.
So
I can say that, Mon.
Jake, that's so limited. His snaps, his opportunities are so limited.
Listen, Mon, all I needed to see last week was the angle he took on the slant on the goal line. That is stuff that Pop Warner football is better at than the angle he took. He looked like he's never played football before, and that's, for me, that's a good enough sample size. He is not the answer at safety. He's just not. He's a great special teams guy. I'm good with that, but they need a safety and they need a guard. They have got to go out and get both of those positions.
So let me just harp on the guard one more time. What would it take? I guess we're going to have to wait till the Commanders game. What's it going to take for them to say we have to go get another guard? What has to happen in that game outside of injury where they say we have to go get another guard? I'll get to safety after this, but Mon, what's it going to take?
Catastrophic performance. Quarterbacks get sacked multiple times, no rushing yards. Could they potentially get another guard? Absolutely, they could. We just need to understand something. Anybody they pick up now is going to be a fringe starter.
Yes.
Okay. Or a guy way past his prime. Now, can that help us still? It still can help us. Absolutely. Guys, offensive linemen 9 and 10. We keep 10 offensive linemen, sometimes 9. The last 2 offensive linemen that make the roster this year for the Bengals, they're currently on another roster. They're not in Cincinnati.
You could be right.
The last 2 roster spots, they're going to be final cut candidates. The Bengals are going to put in multiple waiver claims, a guard, a tackle. They're on another roster right now. So, I can tell you, Duke Tobin and his staff, they know the bottom 10 guys on every NFL roster. There's a former number 1 pick for the Patriots from 2022 that's about to get cut. He's been hurt a lot. He's only started a handful of games, but our offensive line coach was in New England last year, so he knows about him. Maybe that could be a hidden gem. He was a first-round pick. I think his name is Cole Strange, something like that. I read about him the other day. That could potentially be, maybe, hey, 7th-round pick. Can we get him? I don't know. I think some key depth for the Bengals are currently they're on other rosters.
Do you guys think that the Bengals? I mean, again, I think this is very. I think need to rate the XFL. I think this is very unlikely, but to me, I think it's well worth it to at least go out and see if there's one of those guys that you could get and give up some draft capital. I mean, for me, that's the only answer here. Mon, you said it. We know what the Bengals are going to do. The Bengals are going to wait until it's cut down day, and then they're going to put in waiver claims and blah, 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 blah. And we're going to get these fringe guys that don't belong on the team or shouldn't ever be on the field. But what about the Bengals surprising us and trading for liable answers at those positions with draft capital? Any chance that happens?
Yeah, it could. I mean, the Bengals do not like to give up draft picks. They don't. They only had 6 this past year. I mentioned this on my Twitter account. I just open for debate, and you guys didn't like it, which is fine. A lot of people did not like it. I'm just thinking outside the box. We're loaded at wide receiver.
Oh yeah, I did not like this.
No, I know you didn't like it, but we got 2 of the highest paid wide receivers in football. Yoshi is trending to get a nice contract one day. I love Yoshi Voss. He's a winner. But can you think outside the box? Like, hey, man, if I don't know what's happening with Burton. I know he has an injury that he's dealing with. Hopefully he comes back healthy. I think the media has been really unfair with him, but that's another subject. But Yoshi Voss, could you get a guard? Could you get an up-and-coming offensive lineman? Could you get an up-and-coming safety? I mean, let's face it, guys. The Bengals, if he keeps on trending the way he is, the Bengals aren't going to give him $15 million a year. They're not going to do it. They can't because their wide receivers are making so much money. So let's just think outside the box here. If it gets that desperate, you do have marketable pieces.
Don't you think though, Mon? Don't you think that again? I'm with you. I want those viable. I want guys that can play now. I want viable players. But don't you think? Now again, just hear me out. Yoshi is a proven talent, right? He is a guy that the Bengals have developed, and he is going to probably have 700-800 yards receiving this year and be a big part of this offense. Wouldn't you rather keep him and give up draft capital that you're going to screw up anyways? Wouldn't you rather give up draft capital and go out and get players using draft capital than give up a player like Yoshi who is going to be, I'm telling you right now, and I said this earlier, he is going to be the one this year that everybody talks about. He is about to have a breakout season. And wouldn't you rather keep that on your roster and maybe give up a 3rd or 4th round pick and get a viable
Jake? He's a great player. Yoshi is a great player. I am a fan. How many footballs do we have? Fant, Gesicki, Higgins, Chase, Brown out of the backfield. Listen, Yoshi Voss is, I think, going to be a long-term NFL starter. I really do. I just don't think he's going to be a long-term NFL starter for the Bengals.
Well,
GMs know that. And I'm like, hey, let's just dangle him and see what we can get. That's all I'm saying. I want him to be a Bengal. I do. I'm just thinking outside the box. I'm not anti-Yoshi. You guys know that. I'm anti-Hudson, but I'm not anti-Yoshi.
Hey, don't take shots at Hudson. So to Mon's point, I think this is the heart of Mon's question. So Yoshi's going into his 3rd year. Next year is going to be essentially his final season with the Bengals. We're not going to be franchise tagging him. We're not going to be paying him $18, $21 million a year as a wide receiver. So we've got him for 2 more years top. So Mon's point is we're not going to be able to resign him. So it's probably better to get something for him, and either now or next year. I think next year is the time that you do it because you don't want to see him walk. But to Mon's points, and this is the heart of the question, who's going to contribute more? You could probably flip Yoshi for a starting right guard. Is Yoshi going to be more impactful than a starting right guard?
Somebody brought up a point. Yoshi has done well. As Bengal fans, we love Yoshi. But what does the NFL think of Yoshi? I mean, would we get a 5th round pick for him?
I'm not trading for a
4th round pick. No, I would not either. I wouldn't either. I don't. Maybe I have him. We have him. On a higher pedestal than the NFL.
Maybe
it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because the Bengals absolutely love him. But you know what? If we could get him, for, let's say, an up-and-coming prospect on the interior offensive line, I would do it in a second.
Yeah. So we did talk about safety. Let's talk about safety now. It was reported that Tyson Anderson was taking all of Geno Stone's snaps. I believe that was at today's practice or yesterday's practice. So go ahead, Jake, go off on safeties. You think we need another safety? Do you have some names that leave Dejon Anthony alone here, but do you have some names you think that they can go after?
I mean, listen.
Take us 10 minutes, go.
I'm not.
6 minutes.
I need a lot more than 10 minutes to talk about the Bengals safety position. Listen, guys, PJ Jules was running with the ones. That's where we're at right now. And again, I'm not trying to knock anybody here, but our safety situation is dire. It is dire. We have gone from having Jesse Bates and Von Bell, probably, and Mon, you and I talked about this. In 21 and 22, we probably had the best safety tandem in the NFL. We have gone from the best safety tandem in the NFL, and in 2 years, I think it's very easy that we could say we have the worst group of safeties in the NFL, and that's not even. I might be being nice about that.
You just reopened a lot of wounds, dude.
Listen, but it's true. I mean, again, I'm just telling you as a coach, DeJohn Anthony would not start for me. He would not start for me in high school.
Come on, Jake. Come on, man.
Hold on. I'm going to clip this because when DeJohn goes off, we're going to come back.
Listen.
This is why we keep Jake's receipts, guys. This is why we keep them.
Listen. I'm actually writing it down. You know what? I feel very good about that one. You can write that one down.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. I know it's a name that's been thrown around a lot, and I see it already in here. But to me, Justin Simmons is a good fit for this team. He is a vet. He is a guy that has played multiple positions. He is what the Bengals want. He has got, they can move him around. He's played a little of that outside linebacker in the odd front. He's played some safety. He's done a little bit of everything. To me, again, I know that's a name that's been thrown around a lot, but to me, he's out there still. I don't understand why we don't go out and get him, because I'm telling you right now, he would walk onto this team and be this best safety on this football team. I don't know how many more preseason games. Listen, Mom.
J-Lou, ARP.
I'm to the point right now. I'm to the point right now where I really feel like moving Dax Hill back to safety is a more. Listen, so that is a more viable option than me having to watch DeJohn Anthony, Jules, these guys that literally would not play on any other NFL team in the league. To me, that's more viable than watching those guys go out there.
Okay. Let me give you my take on that. I get your frustration, and it is legit. But here's a silver lining, okay? Geno Stone is there for his football smarts, his playmaking ability. He's started a lot of games, 7 interceptions a few years ago. He knows football. His athleticism is limited. The one thing about him being out right now is you can say what you want about DeJohn Anthony and Tyson Anderson. Super athletic. Tyson Anderson made the freak list on what was that? What's his name? The guy on ESPN that comes out with the freak athletes. Tyson Anderson made that list. They don't have starting, they haven't started many games at safety. They're special teams guys. They need that experience and that seasoning. Athleticism-wise, it's an upgrade. Experience-wise, it's not. So, I mean, I get it. Justin Simmons, definitely. He's past his prime a little bit, though, Jake, but he would be arguably probably the best safety.
He would be. And by the way, John Ross is a hell of an athlete. Remember John Ross? He's a hell of an athlete.
Can he play safety? Bring him back.
Listen, athletically, I understand what you're saying, Mom, but I'm tired of hearing about how athletic those two are. They suck at safety. I don't care how fast they run or how high they jump.
Tyson hasn't had a chance. He hasn't had a chance.
I know, but there's a football speed and there's an athletic speed. You can be athletic all you want to be, but if you don't understand the way football is played, again, case in point, DeJohn Anthony against the second and third stringers, he can't cover a slant on the goal line, and not only cover it, but runs into another defender. I mean, listen, there's a big difference between being athletically fast and being football fast. and neither one of those guys are football fast.
So Tyson Anderson can play safety. He proved it. Mon's got NFL Plus. He's got 8 million games. Go back to the Tyson Anderson preseason game last year or the year before. There was a game where he had multiple picks. He was going off. Tyson Anderson didn't get a shot in Lou's system. We saw how athletic, how well he was at taking angles, what a good tackler he was playing on special teams. Tyson Anderson needs to get his shot to go in there. Before we move on to the last question, Jake brought it up, and I was going to bring it up. Is the potential to put Dax Hill back at safety an answer for this team, Mom?
I think it is. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens and they make Josh Newton the slot guy right now. I know Mike Hilton plays for the Dolphins now, and I know he struggled a little bit in coverage last year, buddy. I'd like to have him right now at the slot. So they could switch Dax Hill to safety. Listen, Dejon Anthony, Tyson Anderson, I get what you're saying. They don't have a lot of seasoning at that spot. They haven't had a lot of opportunities. So, I'm going to hold judgment on them. Yes, the inexperience scares me. The inexperience, we don't have – this isn't baseball. Baseball is 162 games. You got 17 NFL games. Right. That one mistake could cost you first-round bye in the playoffs. Could cost you home field advantage. It's huge. And, we not a lot of room for error there. But those guys are athletic. And, Jake, athleticism is important. It is important. Yeah. It really is. I get what –
just ask DeJohn Anthony about how one play can change a season.
Yeah, he completely lost Jake as a fan. He was amping him up until that play. Listen, you gotta, in order to get seasoning, you gotta be thrown into the pot and stirred around a little bit. So it is what it is. Throw him out there. At this point, we're just saying bring in Justin Simmons to help mold those young guys, help develop them, make it is what it is. Mon's got some topics.
I want to bring up something to both of you. I want to bring up something. I've been reading a lot about Howard Cross getting a lot of plays with the twos. He played ahead of McKinley Jackson. McKinley Jackson, I rewatched that game. He was a game wrecker in the second half. McKinley Jackson played well. The depth chart that was just released this week, they still have McKinley Jackson ahead of him. But Howard Cross, the coaches are raving about it. Now, could Howard Cross eventually take McKinley Jackson's spot on the roster or Taven Bryan? I hope Taven Bryan stays on the roster. He has over 60 NFL starts, I believe. I mean, that helps your roster. Injuries happen in the NFL. Look what happened last year on the defensive line. We had to trot out Zach Carter and J2 Afele. I would have much rather have Taven Bryan on the team then. That could have been a key play that might have flipped one of those games. It really could have been. It could have been. But is Howard Cross good enough to make this roster? What do you guys think?
Well, so there's two questions there. Sorry, Jake. There's two questions there. I mean, is he good enough to make the roster? Obviously. Is he this year's Muma Jameda? Like you're talking about him going in there and taking a high draft pick spot in Jackson's. Why? I'm going to throw it back to you. Why wasn't he drafted? Why did we get him in UDFA if he is so talented, or is he just shining with the Bengals coaching staff?
He's 6'1", 285. He doesn't have a defensive tackle body. I read a lot of draft profiles. That was his big knock. He doesn't have an NFL body. He does know the coach, though. He was a key player for Notre Dame. I will say this. There was a draft profile I read 2 years ago. Not this one, but the draft cycle before. He was on the early watch list because a lot of people considered him one of the best defensive tackles in the nation because he was making major plays. He had a dip last year in his senior year. I don't know, Jake. What do you think?
I think are we seeing a little daddy ball here? I mean, listen.
Howard Cross. You're saying Al's his daddy? What's going on here?
I'm saying Al Golin's his daddy. Listen. I'm not sold on the Howard Cross thing. I think McKinley Jackson, to me, there's no reason why that guy should not be on the field, getting important reps. I'm with you, Eric. A guy like Howard Cross, should he make this roster? I don't know. I don't know how that's going to pan out. But if you're telling me that a UDFA is good enough to just walk in and be on the second team for our defensive line, well, that tells you how much our defensive line sucks. Because Howard Cross, to me, at 6'1", whatever he is, 295 or whatever, that is not ideal again, I felt like I was watching a little daddy ball last week. We'll see how it kind of works itself out.
It was little daddy ball too. I'm just going to throw this out there. Howard Cross, 6'1", 285 pounds. Geno Atkins, 6'1", 293
David, do
pounds.
not,
David.
Nope. You pumped the brake. Do not compare Daddy Ball Howard Cross with a Hall of Fame Geno Atkins. Do not do that.
Well, I'm just saying. All jokes aside, I thought Howard Cross looked pretty good last week. He made some plays. I have no problem with him making the roster. I just think our third round pick from last year has more upside. That's what I think.
Too.
I'm not a
That's
coach.
my point. That's my point. Yeah. And he's got experience, right? I mean, he played some good ball last year for the Bengals. You know,
he did. He flashed big time. He really did. And if you watch the second half of that game, he made a lot of impact plays. He had a boneheaded penalty though. McKinley Jackson did cost us 4 points because he ended up going down and scoring.
Whose roster spot would Cross take? Is there a defensive end, a defensive lineman?
I mean, I would think that
Taven Bryan.
I would think that he would. I think it would be a situation where it would be the Bengals would keep an extra D lineman. I don't think he's taking anybody's job. He's gonna have to take somebody. It's going to be whether it's a defensive lineman, a defensive end. It's going to be a tight end, a wide receiver.
I got the depth chart. Can I read the depth chart? The starters are B.J. Hill and T.J. Slayton. McKinley.
By the way, B.J. Hill practicing now, guys. Looking good, right?
Chris Jenkins is second team. So that's 4 defensive tackles. The next one is going to be Taven Bryan, Howard Cross, and McTelvin Agim, the guy they picked up. They're not going to keep 6 defensive tackles. There's no way. It's going to be between Bryan and Cross, according to this depth chart. You know, if injuries happen, I don't want anybody to get injured, but man, Taven Bryan is a quality depth piece. I would have no problem bringing in the start if somebody gets nicked up. Taven Bryan
looked good.
He's a proven NFL player. He's a proven NFL player. But you know, hey, Al Golden knows Cross better than anybody. And don't forget, I know we got to get out of here, Eric, for you and everything, but let's talk about the center from Ohio State. He actually practiced today. I'm curious to see he's 7 months removed from that torn Achilles. I'm stunned that they activated him. I thought this would be like a redshirt year.
Yeah, well, let's go into that because Matt.
Real quick though, Eric, I did think about whose spot he could take DeJohn Anthony's spot on the roster.
Thanks, Jeff.
You're gonna put Cross back at safety.
Put Howard Cross. You can't do any worse. Put Howard Cross at safety.
Oh, man, you're digging yourself a hole, and you're gonna week 2. You're gonna be DeJohn Anthony is the greatest thing. I said it. Remember, I said it. I've got all the clips, Mon. Don't worry. Matt Lee has been just non-existent this camp. Yeah. Does McLaughlin come in and take that spot right now? They did say today that they are absolutely not thinking about playing him at guard because they don't want to throw too much on his plate.
Both guys are banged up, right, Mon? I mean, is this going to come down to who's healthiest that wins this job? They're both banged up. Who knows?
They are. It's going to be an interesting 3 weeks. I can't wait till Monday night because I just want to see these guys flash. I really do.
You know what I can't wait about Monday night? You owe me ice cream cake. And I have been on a very, very strict.
You're not allowed.
And I am looking forward to ice cream cake at Mon's house on Monday night as we go live.
I'm going to mute this and yell something. Okay, Albert. I was told to wipe to buy some.
No, I'm with you. I am excited about Monday night because I think I got to see something more from this defense, guys. I've lost a lot of sleep about this defense this past week. I need to see something from it. All jokes aside, DeJohn Anthony, I hope you are an all-pro. I really do because we need you to be.
I got to get cleaner for my glasses. According to Jeff, my glasses are all dirty. I'm sorry. I was working in the garage. I'll work on it.
No, but I do. I hope we see something from this defense that makes me sleep a little bit better at night. Because right now I'm a little concerned. Not gonna lie.
All right, we got to get Eric. Give me one thing you want to see Saturday night. I mean, Monday night.
I was going to say, I want to see my eyes closing and sleep until Monday.
Okay.
I want to see Joe Burrow standing in the pocket like Tom Brady stood in the pocket for years. I want to see him bouncing up and down because he's got no pass rush, nothing going on. I don't care how you do it. I don't care if you bring in Brandon Scherf, Dalton Risner, Mon Abelhassan. I don't care. I want a brick wall in front of Joe Burrow and him stand there and be like, at some point, just tossing the ball down because no receivers are open. That's the only thing I want to see. I don't care a rat's ass about the defense. Dejon Anthony, Tyson Anderson, they're going to ball out. I don't care. I want Joe Burrow to be dancing around with a great pocket.
Listen, G. Lou, you got to put his comment up. That is one of the best comments I have seen. Look what he put. I want to see less than 400 yards against the defense.
You know
Joe
what?
Burrow's going to have such a good pocket.
I'm not even going to answer
That's a
the
burner
question.
account for you. That's a burner.
I am not even going to answer the question. Just put his back up there, and
Listen,
that is what I want to see too.
If I believe that Jake was capable of creating a burner account, that would be it. But I know he's not.
I have no idea.
You know what I want to see? You guys may think this is really simple on me. I want to see Shamar Stewart get a hell of a quarterback sack, beat a good offensive lineman. I want to see him get 2 or 3 more pressures. You know why? That's on tape on Monday Night Football, and every offensive coordinator that has to play the Bengals is going to go, guys, that guy's nasty. He's got some nasty potential. That's what I want to see. I want to see Stewart get a hell of a sack, some pressures. That's on film. Everybody's going to be watching Monday night, and then it's going to be the beginning of the notice of Shamar Stewart. It really is. That's what I want to see.
I like it. And might be, I mean, for the starters, for the Bengals starters, probably going to be our last chance to see those guys until we play the Brownies, because there's no way they're playing that third game. I just don't see that happening.
No, there's no way.
Jake, anything other than the defense? Anything you want to talk about other than the defense?
No.
Put G. Lou's back up there. Put it back up there. That's what he wants to talk about.
Just put G. Lou's back up there.
Honestly, G. Lou, Jake is not going to be happy with 399 yards. He's going to say this defense is trash. Jake wants to see the defense. This is Jake. He wants to see them hold him to 1 yard, and everything is an incompletion, and everything's a tackle for loss.
I want to be able to come on here after the game, eating my ice cream cake, and say, you know what? I was wrong about you, Dejon Anthony. But I just don't see that happening. There's a better chance of a unicorn flying down in Mon's backyard and delivering an ice cream cake to me than me seeing Dejon Anthony make a play.
I want to see the commander punter punt the ball 9 times. That's what I want to see.
Oh, I like David's too. I do want to see that, David. That's a good one. That's a good one. I want to see Jake Browning, like the one we saw a couple years ago.
The girlfriend. I remember his girlfriend. Yeah.
Oh, that's what Jake wants. Oh, okay.
I want to see Jake Browning look like he's played the quarterback position before. That's what I want to see. Like he's actually played the position.
I just need Jake Owens. Coach Jake Owens took a Cinderella team that barely had helmets and went out and won the effing high school championship. Coach Owens, you don't have to see it to believe it. You will see it when you frickin' believe it. Take that same attitude and put it to your Cincinnati Bengals. You did it with your high school football team.
Yes, Brucey.
Use it for the Bengals.
Oh, wrong one.
What did Bruce say? I want to see McPherson at 65. Guys, seriously,
I want to see some Dockers, Brucey.
I was telling my buddy, he was at the Jags game. I was telling him, I said, that's great and all, but how much would that suck if you hit a 70-yarder and it doesn't count? Like it doesn't even go into the Hall of Fame or anything. You're just like, oh, I hit a 70-yarder in a practice game. Oh man. But obviously that kid can obviously light it up. So I want to see Joe Burrow's
some Dockers.
Bruce, I'm going to buy you some Dockers for that comment. Nice.
All right, let's get out of here on that.
All right, guys. As you heard, Jake is going to be coaching a game on Thursday. Mon will be out battling. Hopefully, Mon is battling nothing but boredom because it's a slow night in the firehouse. But if he has to battle some fires, we'll be with you. We will not be here Thursday night, but we're going to try and pop in Friday, Saturday, Sunday. One of those days to get a little preview of the Commanders game and or talk about Trey signing, because that's going to happen. Mon said it'll happen on Saturday. It's got to happen on a Saturday. So any Saturday it happens, he's still going to get credit.
Yes, I agree. I mean, we talked about all this other stuff tonight, but let me tell you right now, if they don't sign Trey, we are in up the creek, so to speak. All right, guys, that is another edition of the Bengals Pulse. As always, guys, if you like this podcast, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this podcast. Make sure you check us out on all the awesome podcast platforms, Apple, Stitcher, Spotify. As always, follow Mon on Twitter at @TheFireMon. Follow me on Twitter at CoachJakeOwens9. Follow Eric on Twitter at eFlash with 2 H's 88. Follow Wednesday Podcast Network on Twitter at Wednesday Pod. And as always, guys, follow the Bengals Pulse on Twitter at the Bengals Pulse, on Instagram the same without the @ the Bengals Pulse. And as always, guys, if you like this podcast, make sure you give us that 5-star review. We very much appreciate that. Guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. You guys are the best. Thank you for all the great comments. We love you guys. We appreciate you. If we don't have any big news coming up this week, we will see you live after the Bengals game from Mon Abelhassan's house, eating our ice cream cake and celebrating a victory over the Washington Commanders. He is Mon. He is Eric. I am Jake. This is the Bengals Pulse. Whodey, Bengal fans.
See you guys.
Soon.
Thanks, Divine.
Breakers are for winners.